What's up, agents? This is Spy Plane 662 Gaming. And what would you say if I told you that you can have over 550,000 skill power on a skill build? Would you believe me? Well, I'll tell you what. If you watch this video, I can show you how you can achieve just that, okay? Just real quick, guys. Nothing's changed on this guy. I did find a new Inventive Pack and a 4-piece Tacticians. I got my knee pad finally. I had been running a 3-piece with the short bows before, but I was able to find these two critical components to help this build out. Not fully optimized to where I want it to be, but it's a lot better than what I had before, okay? I want to tell you why I think it's important to run this 4-piece as opposed to any of the other two, with the backpack or the vest. It's critical to have this Barretts and the Inventive Pack for the added skill power output, okay? Weapons, it's completely up to you guys, but I choose to run an MDR. I have a Showstopper. I also run a lightweight M4 and an MP5. The critical component to this is having those skill talents, talented and competent. Obviously, anything outside of that is completely up to you. I've got Ferocious on my lightweight M4 for added output against elite and name bosses, since I primarily do challenge solos or legendary and exotics in group play. But again, the talented one is the absolute most critical and important talent to have in a skill build, okay? It's impressive, though, running only 3,000 firearms, how much output you can put out and damage you can do with an urban MDR. It's phenomenal, guys. So starting off with the Barretts, everybody knows what a Barretts does, okay? It gives you 10% when no skills are on cooldown to your skill power. It's pretty nice, okay? That 416K skill power is an added buff from the Barretts and from the Inventive Pack at full health. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's very rare you might be at full health when you're running out in the dark zone or in last stand, but when you're running in the light zone in group play or solo play, it's really not hard to be. It's really not hard to do, okay? 15% is absolutely huge. So, with that said, my toughness is a little low. Not a big deal. But if you see my previous videos, I'm running solo challenge. I'm running heroics and legendaries with buddies in group play. You know, I'm doing really well. I'm holding my own. If I'm out in the dark zone or in last stand, you know, it just depends on my fire team and how well they protect me and how long I could stay alive. I really don't do much PvP, but I have been out more in the dark zone and in last stand to improve my PvP gameplay. The Barretts is nothing special. I had it rolled into Electronics. I believe it has, 1224 to Electronics. And it had health on kill. I ended up rolling in Skill Haste. 9% is the max you can get on this piece of gear. It'd been nice to have ammo, but I didn't get that, okay? Not a big deal because I do have another chest with Electronics. It's lower rolled in Electronics, but it does have EDR and health and the ammo capacity. I had experimented with haste on this chest, but I really do appreciate that added health on kill that this chest provides, okay? With that said, I'm running skill power haste mods, electronic skill haste mods on most of my gear. And of course, all my performance mods are the Seeker Mine damage mods, okay? The 4% Seeker Mine damage mods. My Inventive Pack was really nicely rolled in electronics. I ended up rolling skill power and it had ammo. Again, I'm running electronic skill haste and the Seeker damage mod here. My last Inventive Pack didn't have the ammo, and I was always finding myself running back to the checkpoints or to safe houses to stock up on ammo again. This mask was pretty nice, 1243. I ended up getting a nice roll in skill power, but I ended up putting in damage to elites just to add that extra damage for me in light zone play or in PvE play against elite and name bosses. I ended up rolling in a firearms skill haste mod on this particular set so I can unlock the talented talent on the weapons. That requires 2874 to firearms, so I needed to have that or better to achieve that talent on the weapons, and it was pretty critical for me, okay? The gloves, pretty nice. I ended up getting a AR damage, critical hit damage, and health on kill. It would have been nice to have maybe a skill haste on this as well, but I ended up going with the electronics, okay? I do have another set of Tacticians gloves that have skill haste on it, but I'll talk about why I didn't choose those, because it did not have the health on kill. This knee pad, this is pretty new. I found this about a day or two ago. Rolled into electronics, I put skill power on there, and it had increased kill XP, which is nice for field proficiency caches, but the damage to elites was good, and it had bleed resistance. I was running the short bow pads before that were rolled into electronics skill power. It had bird resistance, but obviously disrupt and disorient aren't that important for me in my gameplay. Finding these knee pads was critical, especially for that fourth talent, which we'll talk about here in a bit. The holster could be better. It's nicely rolled in the firearms. I ended up putting electronics into it. It did have max 7% skill haste. The stamina could be higher, but hey, You know what? All good, guys. I'm happy with this holster right now. Seeker Mind damage mod as well. Okay, so again, the Tacticians gives you added 15% skill haste with 2 pieces, skill power with 3, and of course up to 30% bonus to skill power when you're in group play or solo play, mind you, with the 4-piece Tacticians Authority talent. I'll show you how critical that here is here in a bit. Okay. Again, back to the Urban MDR. I'm pretty much just running your standard AR mods. Okay. You know, I pretty much spec this out as best as I could in the crit hit damage. Because to be honest with you, on console, I'm not hitting that many headshots on this. Okay, guys. So stability really is not all that required, but it's nice to have. Obviously, with this weapon, you get 18% against targets that are statused. For the most part, that's everybody who I play, you know, because of my clusters on bleed or with my airburst and fire, my fire turret, and or my frags. I've always got the NPCs or bad guys on status. And again, that talented talent is absolutely critical for me. Running the skill build, it gives me 15% for 20 seconds with a kill. And my lightweight M4 and MP5. Now, looking at the specs on this MDR, okay, again, I'm running 3,000 firearms, 2,600 stamina, and 9,000 electronics. I'm putting out pretty good damage with the MDR, guys. I'm very impressed with this weapon. It is a pain to have to pull the trigger every time. It reminds me of a scout rifle. It could actually be treated as an assault rifle, but in all honesty, guys, it's a phenomenal weapon. You got to get out there and farm. The Lexington, I found one the other day out at Lincoln Tunnel in group play. So in the last 2.5, 3 weeks, I found 5 MDRs. I've given away 3. I'm happy with the 2 that I have. We're looking at 24% damage to elites. I had 10% with the lightweight M4, putting me up to 34%. Obviously, you can proc in a water to get an additional 20% as well, but the health on kill is critical with my gear. The skill power is absolutely phenomenal at 416,000. Again, that's with the Barretts and the Inventive buff plus the skill haste of 46%. Max on that's 50. I do have a set of Tacticians gloves that I can achieve 50% skill haste, but I found that the difference between 46% and 50%, as opposed to losing an additional 4% health on kill with the gloves that I have now, just didn't suit my gameplay. It really didn't mean much. It was negligible, the difference between the cooldown and damage. So I much opted to go for the health on kill. I'm really squishy, guys, okay? I can take some hits from the NPCs, maybe about 2 or 3 sniper shots, and a couple of shots from the big guys, but let's be honest with you, I'm staying in cover a lot. I get brave every once in a while. I'm running really good fire teams and groups to you know, maximize my output out in the field with the guys. You know, obviously with the Seekers, the fire turrets, especially the fire turret, because that holds the NPCs back a lot. I'm at 30% armor mitigation or damage mitigation, which is pretty decent. Again, nothing spectacular here, okay? But I'm 150,000 on the health. Could be a lot better, but I'm really pleased with the way that this was working out for me. You see in my previous videos, I can solo challenge missions relatively easily without having to heal. And, you know, I get through legendaries and group play without dying on occasion. And heroic missions, you know, I hold my own pretty much there too. And those heroic missions are just tough for everybody, guys, okay? I'll be honest with you. So going back to the build, that's the basics with the Barretts and Inventive buff. Now I'm going to go ahead and proc in the 30% buff to my Tacticians 4-piece, just to pull out the showstopper to get that up to 30% real quick. And there we are. We are just at 30%. There we go. Now what's nice about this, guys, is that it does not terminate or count down like the Striker's 4-piece does. Remember, the Striker's battle gear talent gives you 100% extra damage if you're hitting a target consecutively and it bleeds off every second, 1%. If you miss, you lose 2%. So this particular talent will stay procced in at 30% until you deploy your skill. Take a look at this, guys. I have pretty much got my skill power up to 509,000 points just off of my 30% that I got from the 4-piece Tacticians. Absolutely critical. This is not hard to do in group play. It takes a little bit of effort in solo play because it requires you to pop out of cover more and hit bad guys, but really with the shotgun, you can do that in no time, okay? Or with the lightweight M4, you can probably have that done relatively easily before you deploy your next skill. So again, pretty nice there, that 30%. Once I deploy the skill, it refreshes. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out those Seekers. Now, I've lost a a skill. I got a skill on cooldown, so I've dropped from 416 to 385 from losing that 10% from the Barretts. I'm still at full health though, so I'm getting 15% off the Tacticians pack. And my base skill power without the Tacticians or Barretts is roughly around 340,000 skill power base. Okay, taking a look at some overall numbers here. Off my base numbers, I'm running about 1.16 million on the sticky, 13.9 on the turret, and clusters are at just under 88,000. The airburst is 202k. All right. So let's get back into that 30% buff off the Tacticians. Okay. And I'll show you what those numbers jump up to now. Sticky goes up to 1.33 million. It's impressive. Fire turret goes up to just under 16,000 damage, and 100k on the cluster, which is absolutely huge. 232 on the airburst, guys. Phenomenal. Okay. Now we're just talking about the 30% buff to the Tacticians 4-piece. We haven't even factored in the talented 15%. Okay. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go travel out into the light zone. Hopefully we can find some bad guys to kill. Once you kill a bad guy, it gives you an additional 50%. Obviously, to maximize or capitalize on that, you got to be at full health with that Inventive Pack buff. Okay? Not too hard to do if you think about it, guys. I mean, really. You can float around in some of the missions, stay in cover, proc that up to 30%, and then, you know, kill that one guy who's got a last little bar of health to give you that 20-second buff off the talented weapons talent. And you're in the business, okay? Remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that you can get your skill power up to over 550k. Well, I'll show you here in a second if we can find the bad guy, how you can do that. We're already over 500,000 right now, which is absolutely phenomenal, guys. I farm the light zone with the sticky bomb and seekers now in cluster mode. Okay, I don't even use the fire turret when I'm farming light zone bosses. Okay, so. And it's absolutely quicker. I usually do it with my firearms guy in about 35 minutes. I float through the name bosses with ease now. So there I've killed the target. I've got my talent buff going. I went from 509 to 550,000 skill power. Quickly looking at the stats here. Sticky, 1.38. Fire turret, 16.5. Seekers, 104 in the cluster. Airburst is 240. 240,000 airbursts, guys. It's absolutely fun, okay? Absolutely fun. Deploy a skill. Let's get off full health, okay? Now look at the talents here, or my skill power. And we gotta stop bleeding here first. Okay. 339 base, skill power, okay, guys? Nothing spectacular about that. 9,000 firearms, running 1 million sticky, 12,000 turret, 77,000 cluster, 177,000 airburst. Okay, back up to 416,000 skill power, full health with the Barretts, no skills on cooldown. It gets me set up to basically deploy my first skill to wreak havoc. Typically, what I do is when I go into a fight, I drop the fire turret for a first perimeter defense, followed by the seeker cluster or airburst if I'm in the DZ last stand. And then, of course, by frags and the MDR, shotgun, LM4, you name it, guys. I've got a lot of layers in my defense protocols here when I'm running solo or in group play. Obviously, your buddies in group play are going to add another facet to that kill chain. But really what this turns out to is if you're running this guy in group play or even solo, it makes this guy pretty much the skill build in an offensive role, a one-man force multiplier. Okay, you can go from turret to sticky to seeker. You can go crit, improve crit hit damage off the pulse. If you're running the tac scan or the scrambler, you're adding an additional, 40% or more on crit hit damage. Obviously, we know the crit hit chance maximizes out at, I believe it's 65%. But look at that crit hit damage. Absolutely phenomenal what you do for your firearms teams who are rolled inspecting the crit hit damage, okay? 55% if you're running a tac scanner by yourself. And I'm not even going into the shield yet, which I may do a video on later. And, of course, healing with respect to You know, occasionally I go back to defib. I'm healing allies for nearly 400,000 hit points, okay? Overdose, obviously. You know, guys, I'm running 150,000 health. I can heal myself with the booster shot in one go, okay? The support stations are pretty nice. I don't really run these much, but when I do, I'm pretty much, you know, without any of the healing speed or range mods on this, I'm doing a pretty good job of helping folks revive and heal, okay? So very rarely do I run support station, but I've experimented with it more during the incursion gameplays in heroic mode because I think it's absolutely huge to run the support stations in heroic missions or even legendary one by myself. So that's the video, guys. Again, one-man force multiplier. You know, my guy here, he looks like a pissed off Tony Romo or David Beckham, but you know, new and improved build here. New and improved look for Spy Plane 662 Gaming. I really am digging this 4-piece Tacticians, Barretts and Inventive. The Urban MDR is where it's at, guys. I love this Urban. If you can find one, please run a skill build with this. You'll not be you'll be satisfied. Okay, you'll really love this weapon. Okay, it is a pain to shoot. You know, but I hear there's modded controllers, which I think, in my opinion, is kind of cheating. I wouldn't run a modded controller in any arena style gameplay. I probably wouldn't even run it in PvE gameplay, but pretty happy with the output I'm doing here. Hey, if you like the video, guys, please give it a like. You know, let me know what you think about the build. I am trying to make improvements to it as I farm better gear. Still a work in progress, but I'll try to post up more in-game play videos from the Dark Zone, Last Stand, or even in you know, PvE modes where I'm hunting and farming for other guys. You know, I still do farming. I'm trying to get away from that because I like to emphasize more on PvP gameplay and content for that here soon, but I don't mind getting out and helping you find an Urban or a Barretts or any other gear that you're looking for. Hit me up on Xbox One. I'm SpyPlane662, and that's my video, baby. Bring it. Skill build. What you know. I see you guys. Peace.